Good Taste Brekky with Chloe on Juice 107.3. Joining me on the line this morning is someone who is pretty iconic in the music industry. He's Grammy Award winner. He's an international chart-topping British music legend, and his name is Leo Sayer. Thank you for joining me this morning.
A pleasure. Always good to be talking to you.
Now, Leo, 4 decades in the music industry and still going strong.
Well, it might be even longer, actually, if I really take it back. It's edging into 5.
Is it?
Isn't that funny?
That's amazing. And you've just released a new album called Selfie. Tell me about it.
Yes, this was an interesting one because I've got a great studio that I've built here in the Southern Highlands, and I moved into Australia in 2005, and one of the big reasons was that I could make new music down here because people were interested in that, whereas back in Europe, everybody kind of said, nah, Leo, you've had your career. We just want to release old stuff, and I one of the reasons coming to Australia was that I got this, lots of people saying to me, come on, make some new stuff. Come on, let's do something new. So 2005, when I moved over here, that was the modus operandi. And it took me quite a few years. And gradually, I've got this wonderful place in the country now, and I've got a massive barn. And I usually make very complex demos before I go in to make a record, like the last album I did in Restless Years. But this time, I decided not to pick up the phone, not to call the musicians, and try and finish it myself. And it took a little bit of a while because I had to find out how to do things. There's this challenge of how do I do a guitar solo? Because I decided, you see, to do everything myself.
All the instruments.
That's the reason the album's called Selfie. All the instruments, yeah.
Wow.
And with computers now, we can do that. I mean, most of the new records that you hear are being made like that anyway, from Beyonce to Taylor Swift they're all the same, They're all the same technique. So it all starts with the band in the box, if you like, the computer, and basically then you put things into there, whether you're recording them live or whether you're just kind of like finding samples and manipulating them. So I was kind of up on all of this, and I thought, well, damn it, I'll just carry on. And it's an interesting process, and so far, playing it to the fans in England and some of the songs on stage, and the people that listen to the records, they've all sort of said, hey, you come up with something good, Leo. So that's great. Yeah, amongst all of the other stuff, I'm writing my book at the moment, funny
Really?
enough. It's called Just a Boy. It's written under my real name, Gerard Hughes Sayer. It's the adventures of Leo Sayer. And I had so many adventures, so many amazing things happened. I always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. I don't know how some of it was crazy. I mean, like the Elvis thing was just because I fell off stage in Northern America, up at a place called Alpine Valley in Wisconsin. Also, funny enough, the place where, well, not funny enough, but tragically enough, where Stevie Ray Vaughan, the great American blues guitarist, died as well, and when his helicopter crashed into a mountain after he'd been guesting on a Eric Clapton gig. So anyway, I fell off stage in 1977, and I amazingly didn't break any bones, but I fell like 25 feet onto concrete. So, boy, that's a long way, And
Yes.
I didn't realize I knew I'd damaged myself, but it didn't really hit until I got a delayed shock when I got into Memphis. And we were playing a big gig in Memphis, sold out, because, of course, my fall had hit the newspapers and the news and TV and everything. So that would have brought more people, come and look at this guy who's survived, So we would get more and more audiences. It was crazy. They were all sold out.
Right.
So we're playing this big room, and I'm in the dressing room, and I just locked up. And I couldn't get out. I was in a ball in the room. And a guy came in, he said, I know what to do with him. And he happened to be, passing by or at the arena for some reason, and took me under his wing, drove me to his place in Huntsville, just over the other side of the Mississippi River from Memphis. And I kept asking him, what are you doing here? Because he was an ex-Miami football player, And he said, I work for a big guy in town, and he wouldn't tell me who it was. And one day he just put the phone over to me, and it's Elvis Presley on the phone.
Wow.
So, that was his boss, and Elvis knew all about me, and he'd obviously spoken to this guy Michael, and Michael had told him a lot about me. So, Elvis was playing You Make Me Feel Like Dancing at home in the background and going, I love your music, man. So, wow, Elvis, the king, likes me. So I was kind of cock-a-hoop. We made an arrangement to meet the next day, and I was literally going to go down to Graceland and spend some time with Elvis at the house, and that might be a few days. Who knows? We might have made some music or something. Anyway, he was just looking forward to somehow, linking with my young energy that I had in those days. And it all sounded really good. Went to sleep, couldn't sleep, of course. Listened to the radio in the morning, and they announced his death.
Wow.
And so Michael came running into the room and said, I got to go, got to be with the family. Sorry, Leo, and left me there, threw me the keys, said lock up and put them here. And I left and went back to LA, and it was all very sad. And I couldn't tell anybody about it because they'd never believe you.
Wow.
So like years later, a guy called David Foster, who's a big American producer, as you know, Celine Dion in Chicago and all those acts, came to London, and I thought he was interested in producing me. No, he wanted a meeting, but basically because his girlfriend at that time was Ginger Aldrin, who was Elvis's girlfriend when he died.
Wow.
So Ginger really wanted to meet me because she wanted to tell me how much Elvis loved me and how much he was looking forward to the meeting the next day and how he was singing my song as he went to bed. And that's the last she ever saw of him.
What a story.
I don't think he could sleep, and the doctor came round, gave him something, and he fell asleep on the, never recovered. And, and that was it.
Wow.
So it was a kind of, what a beautiful near miss, I mean, Roger Daltrey recorded my songs right at the start of my career. He made a solo album, the guy from The Who, and, we were recording at his studio due to meeting him, and he just turned around one day and said, write some songs for me. And we did, and he had a hit straight out the bag with the song Giving It All Away, where the title Just a Boy comes from. And, that kind of started me off in the business. So I had a great introduction via Roger Daltrey telling everybody about this guy, Leo Sayer. So that's a fantastic way to start. And it goes on from there,
Yeah. So when can we expect the book to be released and finished?
I'm getting close to the end of it. I'm writing it, just like Selfie, I'm writing it by myself.
Right, that's good.
So the megalomaniac in me, I guess, or the narcissist, choose which one. But I think I'm the only person who can tell the story, and there's so much material I'm pouring through, I mean, postcards from my mum that I sent to my mum and dad with lots of stuff, itineraries, press cuttings. I'm going through it all at the moment. So it feels like a mountainous task, but I've done 90,000 words, and I think I'm very, very close to, I'm over 3/4 of the book, so I think it will be out early next year.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to reading it, Leo. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. I should mention...
No problem. My pleasure. And looking forward to playing Twin Towns as well.
Yeah, so you're playing Twin Towns?
Fun, as usual.
That's October 20... You're playing Twin Towns October 27th, and you're also in Lismore the night before that as well.
We are, which is fantastic, because I've never done a gig in Lismore. I've always driven through, but never done a gig there, so I'm looking forward to that. Apparently it's a great little theatre.
Absolutely. Well, you can find out more information on Leo's dates at leosayer.com. We're going to play Selfie right now. Did you want to introduce it?
Cool. Oh, go on. This is Leo Sayer, and this is Selfie from my new album, Selfie.
Yay! Thank you so much.